the Zapatistas rose again. After 20 years, remember the first time they rose was in 1998. I know it was 94. Yeah, after more than 20 years. So the Zapatistas rose again, and in this parliamentary debate, we have a team in favor of working with Zapatistas, like as in kind of supporting them, yeah. And we have a team in favor of sending the military to control the situation, right? Because we're talking about an armed group that is not an official Mexican army, right?
Yes.
Okay, so is that clear?
Yes.
This context enough? You have a question?
Yes, what situation? You said like they send the military to control the situation?
Of the Zapatistas rising again.
Ah, okay.
To just send the military and what's going on here?
Okay.
Okay? And team in favor?
Primero van nuestro course of action, ¿no?
Course of action, no Spanish?
Okay.
Course of action and arguments, go.
Well, basically, our idea is to invest money to support this group. Work with them to create new legalization supporting these groups so that their rights can be respected because this pan-indigenous movement has been considered the voice of indigenous people, and we would like to give it that.
Thank you. No Spanish. And arguments.
Yeah, he speak a little too low.
Sorry.
No, yeah, he really totally.
The Zapatists have worked to establish self-governance in the Chiapas region of Mexico to avoid corruption and indigenous rights violations.
In the early 1900s, with the EZLN was forming, the government actions against the indigenous population in Mexico were remarkable. The government continued to abuse this indigenous community by either taking their lands, taking their resources from their land, not providing with them with rights, making people move out of the country, and also setting up an education system that did not provide for cultural rights, such as the use of local languages.
Okay, thank you. Third argument.
You said this? Okay. The Zapatistas have also been consistent and outspoken advocates for equal gender rights. The Zapatista movement not only makes verbal statements with regards to their belief for equal rights, but they also have a series of structures in place that guarantees equal rights for women. And recently, I think we should mention that the role that women make in this movement is really important.
Thank you. All right. Over here, position, course of action, and arguments.
It's been more than 20 years since EZLN rose, and ever since the matter has settled. Guerrilla attacks stopped, and the government has worked to give a better life quality to people in the area. Now that there's been a resurgence, the government must not apply to EZLN demands and instead answer by sending the military to control the situation and protect our citizens.
Thank you.
The reason why there is no need to create any new programs is that according to the State Economics Division, Chiapas is on its way to become a key investment attractor, with private investment going higher than $1 billion pesos, around 70,000 new jobs and 100 new businesses generated. Development of the Macro Chiapas has generated 273 businesses with 1,404 products that go from handcrafts, traditional amber to food and tourism.
Thank you.
Well, the land gives a huge profit to the economy, and well, that land is public by some ethnic groups, and that ethnic groups contribute to the Zapatistas group. So my point is that that for the government, they needed to move those ethnic groups to increase the economy in Chiapas because of trade, or because the NAFTA trade, which means that the resources can be moved across the border with little cost, and that was one of the problems that generated the ESNL.
Originally.
Yes, originally.
Okay.
Our other argument is that there had not been such a big full-size armed conflict in this country since the Guerra Cristera, and even though the numbers may not be as high, and even though the numbers of victims may not be as high as other conflicts around the world, this paramilitary organization was the author of riots, lootings, arson, and murder within their own state.
Thank you. That's it, because we only need 3 arguments to begin with. Okay, now rebuttals. This is where the debate officially starts. Over here, what do you have to say?
Who wants to begin? Okay. I think it's important to mention that Mexico's indigenous population numbers 7 million people, and it represents 30% of the national population. So
13.
13. Yes, I'm sorry. So why are you sending the military to avoid this movement that is the voice of all of these indigenous people? Why? I don't. They cannot communicate with the government because they actually speak other languages. So I don't know. That's my point.
That's a rhetorical question. Okay. Save the answer for
I
your
have
round.
another thing.
Okay.
Just reminding you just a few
Happenings.
facts. I think our government is very repressive, even though they say they're liberal. So these have, well, espera, necesito organizar mis ideas.
No panic, please.
Well, this has happened before when the students.
We would just like to remind you that the government has made very wrong
Decisions?
decisions, such as the 68 movement. Well, you made that. You go with the military and yes, fight against the students, but you killed a lot of people. So I think you're doing just the same, and I think the government is not in position to.
You can finish your idea and then it's their turn.
Okay.
Finish your idea.
Yeah, o sea, the government is not in position to put all of the military.
Fair point. Daniel, you have something.
Well, like she said, the government has attacked the civil population before and repressed them. So it's similar to what I'm not saying this because you just support it, but the government is doing or is doing. They are repressing this movement, and this movement actually has helped a lot of people. They even help them to schools and create more educated individuals. Yeah.
Thank you. Fernando, anything else?
Yes, you also said that you're gonna take their land away for making hotels.
For making what?
Hotel.
For building.
For building hotels?
Yeah, in Chiapas.
You can clarify that in a second.
Okay. Well, at least I don't think that nor the government or anyone has the right to take the land
Of the people that work.
Good. Your turn. It's okay. Your turn to clarify.
Yes.
Who starts?
Me.
Good. Everybody wants to speak. That's awesome. But decide on the order.
First, I want to clarify that the government doesn't move those people for making hotels or buildings. It makes it because in there it is the border, and as I say, there are a trade which name is NAFTA and help. Well, it means that all the resources that cross that border doesn't need to pay a lot of taxes and a lot of money.
Okay. I don't know, you put me in a difficult position as a moderator because I need to be neutral, but I really have to ask, the role of NAFTA in Chiapas has not been properly addressed by you. This is the second time you talk about NAFTA in Chiapas, and I'm like, how do you connect NAFTA with Chiapas? That has to be properly connected.
The ethnic groups of the people live in that land, and they doesn't let the government use that way for making the economy, making some trades.
So they use their land to use as a communication way.
What was that?
So they use their land as like a highway for transporting their products to Yeah.
I don't know.
Actually, that was just recently done in Chiapas, and it was meant to help all these local business so that they can move around their products more easily.
The highway.
Yeah, the highway. Yeah, but it was done in pro of the indigenous people on the local market.
Okay.
I took his example.
Okay, good. I understanding the connection now. I'm understanding the connection now. Good. Continue.
First of all, Vanya, you say that we made that the attack of the killing of 1968.
And many others.
Yeah, but the thing is, we're all members of the parliament talking about how we can address this issue. So we are on the government, and yeah, that was rather a sad event, but this is a whole nother different thing because the 68 students were students, but the ECLN group actually declared war on Mexico's government January 1st of 1994. So it was actually an act of war. And when it comes to our national safety, the thing is that we know these insurgents are not to trust. And we've seen in the past where while discussing peace talks, ECLN militants and sympathizers detonated a car bomb in the heart of Mexico's capital and hurled a bomb at Acapulco's government office. So attacks continued to sprawl over the country for the next day after ECLN threats. This is all actually happened.
Back in 93.
94.
94.
Yeah, and now while they were having peace talks.
So that there's less important background about the possible dangers.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Anything else?
Yes.
Andres?
I want to say that we're not sending the military to. We're sending the military to control the zone. It's not to kill the indigenous people that live there. It's to protect everyone, because this is an armed group, and nothing guarantees us that they will not do any harm to any Mexican citizens or to others.
Okay. We start with you, so we finish with you. So we go with them, and then we do again, and that will be the end for the rebuttals. Go.
Well, we accept that ECLN's methods may not be the most civilized ones, but like this, I think that are the ones that our country needs sometimes, because as you can see, the corruption in our country is huge. It's huge, and sometimes there are no solutions to the indigenous problems, like they violate the rights, so sometimes the government just doesn't care about them. So these methods are the ones that we need sometimes.
Are you listening to yourself?
Well,
He's
they
talking about the
ECLN
movement. not just not the acts
Well.
of
Healing.
killing or.
Okay.
And we know we are citizens and that we are not, and you are not the government and we are not EZLN. I'm just saying that you're supporting a government's decision that is to send the military. And we're not also saying that you're going to kill them. It's just, we think that it's unfair to send the military to the people that is the voice of an important amount of the people of the national population.
Okay. Daniel.
About what Andres said, that you cannot guarantee that. I don't really remember, but
Safety of our
you can guarantee neither that the military won't hurt these citizens too, or the innocent people. They also have guns. It's the same level of danger.
Good. That's it? Good.
Yes.
Rebuttal. Final, the last round.
So this is a rebuttal, then they do a
No,
rebuttal?
because we start with you, right? So we need to finish with you.
Yeah,
and now
that's
it's no, this is the last rebuttal.
Rebuttal.
What?
We've only done one round.
Sí, llevamos.
Well, if you have plenty to say, well, let's hurry up.
Alright, well, first of all, Lucillo, yeah, that it sounds really bad when you say that it was necessary method. Well, maybe.
Sorry, technical issues.
Keep going.
No, stop for a
Wow.
Aquí está el de
No, no,
Yes.
It's really unfair. No. Bueno, cada vez.
Amenázalo, Benito, amenázalo.
Hurry up.
No, ustedes
All valuable debate time has been lost. Due to that. So, what do you have to say?
What Lucillo said that they were necessary on this kind of stuff. That they were necessary. I don't know if you were talking about the methods or about the movement, but anyway, they are almost. There was basically terrorism attacks. So we cannot condone those actions, and we should not. We should try to negotiate with terrorists. And to go with Daniel Millet, yeah, I can agree with you that the EZLN movement is admirable in the way that it has not had the need to corrupt itself and to make pacts with the narco trafficker, for example. But the thing is that your solution about implementing programs to help them will probably not work because, for example, one of EZLN mottos is "Aquí manda el pueblo y el gobierno obedece." And many communities in Chiapas were actually looking forward to becoming independent from the government. So maybe this will mean that they will not agree with the government sending their help or using government programs.
Thank you.
So let's emphasize the ideology of the EZLNL. They obviously have some demands, and they gave in 1994 in the declaration of I don't know what declaration. There was a declaration. Yeah, but the ideology of the EZLN is to create a socialist state, and we see in the world that there are 3 countries in socialist states, and I want to emphasize Cuba and North Korea, and they're not the best countries in the world. So I don't think this is like a good. Well, I just want to say that.
No, you don't apologize. That's your argument. Explain it, develop it. Okay. I think the point was clear.
Yes.
Education in Cuba is one of the best,
Wait.
even though
Well,
they
yeah, man,
have
wait.
very
So that's
nice
it.
government.
No.
Finish. Come on. We're running out of
I'd like
time.
to add to what he said, that if they were to succeed and have control of their own areas, be independent, this will jam the great process, the great progress that Chiapas has had in the last 2 years. Because, well, actually Chiapas is 8th place with the highest employment rate. And there's a lot of international investment in Chiapas. So those two ideologies, neoliberalism and socialism clash, and they're not compatible.
Thank you. So we need to hurry up, like quick rebuttal over here. Maybe if you have it ready, only if it's ready.
Yes. I think we need to focus
Parliament, people in
on the
Parliament.
good things that this movement has done, and I'm going to tell you. They have campaigned for access to education, health services, potable water, credits, fair wages, political representation, consultation, the protection of local environments, and official recognition of their languages and traditional skills and healers. We perfectly know that their way to avoid all these unfair treatments are not the best, because they sometimes kill people and sometimes they do not the best, but they are doing more. They are supporting all these people that they don't have recognition, and if you stop this movement, how are you going to support the indigenous people? And we know there is a treatment, the San Andres Accords. I don't know if you invested them, but the government refused to implement this agreement. So how are you going to protect the indigenous people if you're sending the military and repress all of these people? What you're going to do is that the movement is going to be more aggressive.
Thank you.
And I think the government is going to fail.
Rebuttal, if you have it ready.
Yo quiero saber de verdad cómo van a proteger a los indígenas. Estoy muy preocupada.
And then why don't you ask in English when it was your turn? Not now.
Well, actually, if you want to think about it in a harsh way, we could oppress them, and we could avoid any danger, any further danger for our citizens by sending military, because actually the troops are a really low number, so it will not be such a threat to our military. Now I know that the point is not to kill them all, but if what you're asking is
But you're going to
let him talk.
yeah, the point not to kill them all, but if this situation will escalate to such place where war will be at place, we could most definitely protect our citizens and control the situation.
Thank you.
I think I cannot.
Team back, 1 minute for conclusion. Come on. 1 minute for conclusion. Yes, please.
Can we start right?
No. Conclusion is based on what was discussed. There's no time for research.
Aquí dile que yo la veo pero solo voy a I'm going to voy a seguir enfatizando que
So Armando, you didn't care about this debate at all. Did you? Please. Listen to the conclusions, and I would like to read the link. Over there, Delman Luis, listen to the conclusion. Because you didn't pay attention at all. At all. But, well, I understand. It's been a rough week. But I really want you to listen to the conclusion and vote. That's what I need to do most. You really don't what? Okay, no, by now you probably already know. Yeah, definitely. Victor Plata, yes, Victor. So, I'll post the link in just a second.
Teacher, una vez yo pensé.
What was that?
Teacher,
For the sound recording, yes.
una vez yo pensé que estaba en los tiempos de ocio y entonces dije que quería hacer una radio porque pues la gente quisiera buscarme y yo entonces yo sí me lo cercioraba de lo que iba a hacer ahí. No, mi radio pero me
But there is actually, there is a that they speak their local languages and they use to their communities their local language. The people who speak Spanish listen to what's going on and they translate the news to Domingo in the communities. And that happens. There is an Instituto Mexicano de Periodistas which is in charge of connecting the Indigenous population with the country. Oh yeah, as a debate? Good. I have no...
No, eso ya después ya.
As the oral is the debate. So in general, that's a good job. That's a good job. I haven't seen any poor debate at all. I mean, debates have been good. Yeah, there are comments, but in general, good. All right. Conclusion, team in favor. Go.
So, the indigenous people in Mexico still experience a double form of discrimination.
Yes.
They have low economic standing and poor levels of formal education.
Oh, just a second. Your cameraman is not recording the conclusions.
Hi, cameraman.
Cameraman. So, this is recorded?
Yes.
Okay.
It's here.
Go. Sorry.
So the Zapatista struggle is an effective movement because indigenous communities will have greater autonomy.
Okay.
That's why we are convinced that by helping and supporting them and creating new legislations will definitely guarantee a very quality life for indigenous people. And yes, we're going to work with them. We're not going to kill them.
Thank you, thank you. Good, powerful conclusion. What do you have, boys?
Well, we are clearly open to negotiation and peace talks with the EZLN group, but as we seen before, even with these negotiations on the table, this group has proven to be dangerous for our citizens. So we're also gonna say that we're gonna send the military and kill them all, but we're gonna send the military and preserve peace.
Thank you. Claps.
Can we vote? Your hand.
Yes, the link is available. The link is available. Wait. No, you don't vote.
Yo no.